very informal. I haven't really prepared something formal for you, but I want you to know about our study abroad course. And I'm so excited about this. We did it for the first time last summer, and so I was able to learn a lot and make a lot of amazing changes to the course, and I think it's going to be so fantastic. I'm really excited about it. So the title of the course loosely is called The Power of Information Preservation and Suppression in Troubled Times. So we're going to spend some time in Northern Ireland and in Ireland, and we're going to look at how Irish culture and using information, how Irish culture and language have been suppressed in the north and they've been cultivated and preserved in the south. It's going to be a great study in contrast about how information is used as a political tool. So, if you think about it, let's see. I think this is working. Oh, good. Okay, so you have a choice. It can either be a 4-hour course or a 6-hour course. And the difference between those two things is you can just go to Ireland and complete the course and do the final project, or you can also attach an independent study to it and get 6 full hours out of the class. Online, and I don't have these in the right place to share with you yet, but online we have student projects from last year, and I can tell you they are so good, and they are so much fun to watch, so interesting. So I'll post a link to the listserv so that you all can go and check them out. They're amazing. I was very pleased. This is Maggie, and her independent project was on the preservation of traditional Irish music in Northern Ireland. And this is a new archive that the Belfast Public Library had developed to sort of recultivate some of the things that have been lost during the Troubles. Very, very interesting. We will, it'll be a 3-week trip, and we will spend the first part of it in Northern Ireland and the second part of it in Ireland, in Dublin and Galway. And this is the group we took last time. I just can't tell you what class we had. It was so much fun. If you'll notice there's lots of coats and jackets. One thing that I learned last year is that May is too early. It was very cold in the beginning, and we were just the whole time, and it rained a lot. And then the last week in May that we left, the sun came out and it got warm, and it was spectacular. So I thought, I'm going in June next year. So that was one lesson learned. We will start out, we'll be based out of Queen's University in Belfast, and we'll make day trips from there. We'll be in youth hostels, actually, while we're in Belfast. And so breakfasts will be provided for that whole period. We'll be in Belfast for about a week and a half. We will go to the BBC Northern Ireland to talk about censorship during the Troubles. We will go to the Lennon Library to see their amazing collection of resistance posters that were plastered all over. We'll see the peace walls. We'll go to a local university that has an amazing archive. We also make some fun trips to Giant's Causeway, which is here on the right. It's spectacularly beautiful. And we go to the Bushmills Distillery, where you can buy a unique bottle of whiskey that you can't buy anywhere else in the world except at Bushmills. So this is a lot of fun. Actually, feel free to chime in anytime.
I did go last year. If you guys have questions, you can always ask me.
Absolutely. She'll tell you the truth. Then we'll go.
A lot of fun.
I didn't mean I'm not telling you the truth. I just meant you're being an honest thing. So then from Belfast, we'll go to Dublin, and we have, I think, 3 nights in Dublin. We'll go to the Trinity College Library, which is the first slide that we saw. We'll also go to the National Archives of Ireland. It's going to be amazing. I'm really excited. We'll also go to dinner at the oldest pub in all of Ireland. It was it 13? Do you remember the oldest, the Brazen Head? Was it
12 something or other.
12 something. To sit in a pub that was built in 12 something. It was really
1258, 1256, something around there.
That's really amazing. This is Trinity College up in the left. So from there we'll head to Galway, which is on the coast, and again, is so beautiful. We'll be working out of National University of Ireland in Galway, and here we have, I've been told, we have amazing dorms that will be very nice. We can cook, save a little money not eating out, and that sort of thing. Here we'll hear from a couple of storytellers that have been preserving traditional Irish stories over time. We will make day trips to the Cliffs of Moher and the Aran Islands, and we'll be going to the National University of Ireland Archives. It's just going to be amazing. I'm so excited. So the logistics. The course will take place June 7th through the 27th. Again, I learned my lesson. It should be, I can't say it'll be sunny, but it'll be sunnier than it is at any other time of the year. That's their sunny period, I guess. The cost of the course is $4,964 plus airfare. And most of your meals are not covered, but there are a few that are. The deadline for application will be in early January, and you will pay a deposit shortly after the time you apply. That will mean that we know the course is going to make. So we have to have 8 students in order for this class to make. And we're doing the deadline in early January so that we know whether the course is made or not, so that if for some reason it doesn't, you can change your spring schedule to accommodate the fact that you're not going to get those 6 hours over the summer. And you can decide whenever you want to, whether you want to do an independent study and do the 6-hour or the 4-hour option. As I said, we'll be housed in hostels and dormitories. It's a fantastic experience for professional networking. You'll meet a lot of amazing librarians over there. And you will get a lot of opportunities to walk.
She's not kidding.
This was something that most of us went lost 5 to 10 pounds. We walked and we walked and we walked. And Americans aren't used to walking as much as they walk there. We walked everywhere. I think one day we counted that we walked like 12 miles.
Yeah, we did the walking tour. It was a really long day.
But wonderful. I mean, really, it's just amazing. So what I want to point out to you is that it would cost you $3,600 to take 6 hours. So that $3,600 is included in that $4,964. So really, you're getting a 3-week trip to Ireland for $1,300 plus airfare. That's amazing, and food. So really, if you do the 6-hour option, it really isn't costing you that much. So really think about it. I had tried to get everything together, but I just couldn't pull it all together yet. I'm going to give you URLs so that you can see photographs from the trip, so that you can watch the student presentations. And there's also a website with Education Abroad where they have all the details for the actual deadlines, the stages that you'll go through to make the trip, to make the application. And I neglected to introduce Liz. She's from Education Abroad. And she came just to add a few things about there are scholarships. We're waiting to hear, but we actually are hoping that we may have scholarships that are dedicated for this college. And those would be amazing. And what my hope is, this is all in flux still. I think it'll be settled within the next 3 or 4 weeks. My hope is that rather than giving one person a big scholarship, we have a little bit of help for everybody. So if you could get, think about it, if you could get $500 from that $1,300, then maybe you're getting a trip to Ireland for, I can't have that, subtract that, whatever that is. So that's my hope, is that there'll be plenty of scholarship money to go around. And if we have more than 12 people, if we get to 12, the trip actually gets cheaper. I can't remember what the price goes down to, but it does go down. I'll also be inviting, if other library schools are in the SEC, then they pay the same in-state rate that you all would. So I'll also be inviting students from the other SEC library schools, Tennessee, South Carolina, Missouri. So hopefully, by combining students from here and students from other schools, we'll get to that 8 that we need, and hopefully to the 12 and save you even more money. So I'll give Ruth a chance to talk for a few minutes, and then we'll just have questions.
Yeah. Like Dr. O'Connor said, my name is Liz Kachowick. I'm from the Office of Education Abroad. And I did participate on this program, but I interned in Ireland for a summer, and I've been to all of these institutions, and I just want to reiterate the networking opportunities are endless. I met so many people and still maintain contact with them within the higher education setting, and these libraries are beautiful. Absolutely, it makes me envious that you guys have the opportunity, and I don't. But I would be your advisor in this process, so everything from the application to helping you with scholarship applications, thinking outside the box for that aspect too. I know a lot of students get tripped up on I can only apply for one scholarship. The great thing about UK is you can stack those scholarships, and I'm really good about finding alternative grant scholarships and fundraising ideas for those who are really eager to do so. I only have 2 announcements, and these are our upcoming events. Education Abroad is hosting our big fair, and that's on September 17th, and it's going to be in the ballroom in the Student Center from about 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. And that's an opportunity for you to chat more on an individual level with Dr. O'Connor, or at least grab some of our flyers for the program. And then you can go around, we'll have free t-shirts, food, all of that stuff, the fun aspects. But on September 23rd, on a Tuesday, we'll have a more serious scholarship workshop, and that's the chance to go around and speak to all of our staff about various national, local grants and scholarships to really help out for an education abroad program. And that's in the W.T. Young Library Hub, so the bottom, the basement, and that's from 3 to 7 p.m. on September 23rd. I don't have any other announcements.
Could you tell them a little bit about how they pay for their account? I think that makes it more accessible for many people.
Yeah, so the difference with graduate students versus undergraduate students is you guys don't have to take this course. It's called ISP 599. And normally what students do is they have the program fee, and that includes your tuition, which is lovely. It's your tuition, your accommodation, your on-the-ground support to a certain extent. And that is all charged to your student account. That program fee that was up there is charged to your student account. And you can play that in increments, however you set it up with financial aid. The benefit to ISP 599, depending on how your financial aid distribution works, is that if you do enroll in ISP 599, which is an additional 1 credit, I will say that, full disclaimer, it is an additional 1 credit of graduate tuition, that does enable you to utilize your financial aid for this program. So scholarships, grants, loans that you receive through the institution, that's what ISP 599 does. But as graduate students, you have the opportunity to opt out. And it depends on your financial situation. We can talk more on an individual level if that's something you're interested in. But like Dr. O'Connor said, you'll apply in early January, and then within a month after the application deadline, there'll be a deposit, and that's a percentage of usually $500 is the deposit. That's charged to your student account. And that's really to save your spot because we're purchasing things on your behalf. We're putting down payments on the residence halls for NUI Galway, all of those various aspects, the youth hostels, things like that, because we really want to get a sense of who's attending. And then at that point in time, you'll be charged the full amount within the term that you're going abroad, like you would charge normal tuition.
So the $4,900 some odd dollar fee, that includes everything on our end. The only thing you have to get is your airfare. That includes that course. It includes. There's nothing else that's going to come up on our end. Does that include insurance? I can't remember. It does. It doesn't. It even includes your travel insurance. So there's one more thing. I'm going to just put you on the spot, actually.
Oh, yay.
Could you just tell them about your project?
Oh,
It's so exciting.
Okay, so the one thing I didn't tell you when I said that, so that's because my research interests are about Carnegie Library grants. That is what I always research. I do research here on Lexington grants when I was in Ireland. Lo and behold, we got rerouted one day, and we just happened to walk past the Carnegie Library and went in. And the branch manager at that point, Ann Maxwell, was very, very accommodating in the Falls Road Library, and Anne gave me all of their archival materials. She sat me at a desk, handed me everything she had, and said, use what you will, let me know if you need anything. So I poured through those documents, took lots of pictures because I couldn't read all of them in the 2 days that I had, came back and actually put together a history of the Falls Road Learning Library. It's a Prezi, it's 43 minutes long, it's long, this is my hallmark, I do long projects. More doctor, I can think of them. But I chronicle kind of the rise of the public library in Ireland, the rise of the Carnegie Grant, and then this Carnegie Library in particular, and take it all the way from the very beginning of the library to what they're doing right now. And it was such a treat for me. Anne Maxwell was great, and she's actually at the Central Library now, which is kind of their version of a main library for that system in the city.
And she's going to be publishing an article on this at some point. Let me just explain really briefly that the library she mentioned, the Falls Road Library, is the public library on the Catholic side of the Peace Wall. And then this Schenkel Road Library is the Protestant library right on the other side of the Peace Wall. And in the middle of the Troubles, when there are bombs flying across either side, the librarians that we met with and talked to, they were librarians at these libraries during this period. And they had amazing stories about having to shut the library down certain days, about having damage done to the building. It's just such a rich, wonderful history. And if you love the idea of thinking about politics and how information is used in politics and in resistance and struggle, this is just fascinating. You're really going to love it. So, questions? How many people think? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yep. So for there, you do your research. How long do you have to finish a project? That into the next semester, or do you have to finish it by summer?
No, we basically negotiated that. I basically negotiated that with everybody. So I try to build in time while you're there to do original empirical research while you're there, and then bring that all back. But I don't want you using your time while you're there to put all that together. I only want you to be doing things there that you can only do there, because it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience, right? So anything that can be done when you get back home is my preference. So we'll negotiate how long before the project for the main class is due, and then if you want to do an independent study, that can take up to another 6 months or a year, just negotiating between us. So. Other questions? Yeah.
Will we need like a passport?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I know that takes like what, a year or something.
No, it's much faster now. Oh, yeah.
I never got a passport.
No, I think now 3 or 4 weeks.
A passport takes 6 weeks maximum, and we have the Wildcat Passport Acceptance Facility. That is, that's a mouthful. It is located on the basement level of the student union.
Oh,
So it's down the hall from Panda Express, and it takes about 4 weeks, 6 if it's a busy time.
Yeah,
And that's
nothing
100
like it used to
That's
be.
$135. It's more if you expedite, but you wouldn't have to at this point.
just make sure, because I've never been out of America.
Yeah, you definitely need your passport, but you don't have to mess with any visa issues, just your passport.
How do you travel there? Do you get plane tickets together? Is there an idea of how much that would be to those arrangements?
So, no, we don't coordinate the airfare because people might be coming from different cities, if you've gone home for the summer or you don't live here, so it just doesn't work to try to coordinate it together. What basically you will be told is, you need to be here by 5 o'clock on the 8th or whatever. And so then it's up to you how you get there. Many of the students last year booked their plane flight like a week or 2 before and had a great time flying over to Scotland or London or just doing whatever they wanted to. And the same with leaving. If you want to stay on your own, money, you can just stay later. So it works better for you to arrange it yourself. So you just have a be here by date and you can leave after date, and it's up to you. Now, last year, some of our students got some amazing deals. I know one person paid like around $700 for their ticket, but I think other people were more in the $1,000 to $100 range. I think we got one really lucky person who took a chance before the deadline. That's another reason we've moved the deadline up earlier, because you can get better prices on airfare. Once we know we have 8 people locked in the course to May, then you can go ahead and buy it. You can just look for the best that you can get. How much did you pay for yours? Do you remember?
Almost 1,000, it was under 1,000, somewhere in the 900s.
Yeah.
But I booked my flight about 2.5, 3 months in advance. And and this is something that you can do. We're going to be starting.
We're starting in Belfast,
Okay. It can be more expensive to fly into Belfast. The airport is smaller. I actually flew into Dublin and then took a bus, or you can take a train to Belfast, and it's really easy. And the buses and trains are very affordable.
and actually the study abroad folks actually subsidize the travel from Dublin to Belfast if the airfare is cheaper, so.
The other piece is if you are skeptical about traveling alone, if you haven't been out of the country before, it's completely acceptable for a Facebook group or to send out a group email once we have a solidified list of students. We've had past programs where they do that, and a couple students will coordinate together and figure that piece out.
Okay, I guess we're out of time, but could I just have a really quick show of hands of some people who think they might be interested? I'm going to do a happy dance. Please, today, send me your emails. You're not making a commitment, but that will just let me keep in touch with you. Okay, so give me an email today and let me know you're interested. Yay. Thank you for your time.
Okay, we've got a really quick reset, and then we have 2 guest speakers who are here to talk to you guys. So just take a minute, don't leave, but mingle with each other.
the Associate Dean of the Special Collections Research Center here at UK Library. We have, I can tell you lots of stuff, but maybe I'll try and stick with what you might be most interested in. We are a fairly large Special Collections Research Center. We have about 29 full-time employees. In addition to those 29 full-time employees, we have anywhere from 15 or so student assistants, which range from historic preservation, grad students, library grad students, undergrads, people from all across the university, academic colleges, really. So we rely very heavily on student assistants to advance our mission. As a land-grant institution, our mission is fairly broad. We preserve and promote the history of the entire Commonwealth of Kentucky, regardless of format and material. So we have a pretty big collection, which ranges from 17th century manuscripts to contemporary records documenting Appalachia. We have the Lexington Herald Leader photograph collection, which is about 2 million photographs ranging from 1939 to 1990. We have the Louis B. Nunn Center for Oral History, which has around 9,000 interviews, complements our other collections in agriculture, the horse industry, the bourbon industry, farming, medicine, and everything else you can imagine. We're also broadening the scope of that collection to more national issues because we're a repository for other oral history programs who donate their materials to us. We have a really amazing public policy collection and also our Bert T. Combs Appalachian collection. And I think that as a grad student, if you are able and you do live in the area, that working in a repository that's affiliated with your interests is one of the best ways that you can set yourself apart to gain experience to help you go out into the job market later. So if any of you are interested in special collections, which could be anything from the digitization of materials, from oral histories, photographs, manuscript materials, or rare books, to processing of any of those collections. Another area where we hire students is in indexing oral history collections. In our oral history program, the director came up with a system called OHMS, which is the Oral History Metadata Synchronizer. And so instead of having to listen to an oral history and type every single word that you hear, you can listen to a transcript and type in keywords instead. So it takes the access challenges with oral history materials and eliminates some of those boundaries. So that's another area, and then also in research or public services through our research fair. So coming up, we are immediately going to be hiring, a message should go out on the listserv this week, for our Colonial Dames assistantship. It's about 15 hours per week, and that is to process the French family papers. And the French family, that collection spans 190 years from 1780 to 1970. He was Mr. French, I don't know his first name. He was a Revolutionary War veteran who laid out the town of Greensboro. This will be later on, but in May of 2015, we'll be looking for a student assistant who will work with usability studies with the entire UK Library's website. So that's something else that you could be on the look for. And then also we accept any kind of field placement opportunities for you to come in and get class credit and do any of the things that I mentioned above with the range of materials that we have. Do you have any questions about special collections or anything else? I could nominate Austin to be our representative.
We'll have an ice cream on Wednesday, right?
Huh?
You'll have an ice cream on Wednesday?
Yes. Yes, on Wednesday, we'll have a big sign outside, which of course we're directly across from this building, but there will be a sign up outside. We have an exhibit, Lexington Then and Now. It's images of popular places now as they appeared in the past with Google Street View captures to show what they do look like now. And we're going to have free ice cream, maybe the most important part. So you can come in and see that exhibit and talk to any of the special collections staff who may be present and eat ice cream. And so that'll be from 11 to 2 on Wednesday.
Anything else? All right, you have bookmarks. So you can access our online collections at Explore UK, give you a sense of the kind of stuff that we have. And my email address is online. It's just deirdre@uky.edu. And next we have Robert Shapiro from Medical Center Library.
I don't have any free bookmarks. I do have employment opportunities though, and so I think what I'll do is give you guys an idea of who we are over in the Med Center Library, what we do, who we serve, and I'll tell you about a couple of opportunities that we have for you as well. Does anybody have an interest in health science librarianship? One? Well, oh, two, look at that, two. Well, I'll see if I can change your mind. We serve, it's unlikely. Where are you guys all, special collections? Yeah.
How many people are interested in public librarianship? Okay, two more.
Public?
Academic librarianship? All right, your field has significant crossover, believe it or not, with public health librarianship and health science libraries and medical librarianship. Especially if you're working for or planning to work for a large university like UK that does have a med school attached to it. You may ask to be working with or be in conjunction with people who operate in the health science field. So I would definitely entertain the opportunities that he is presenting now.
We actually, I mean, yeah, well put. We have, at UK, we have the third, I think it's the number 3 ranked health science librarianship program in the country, which is outstanding. It's an unbelievable, it's a nice little feather in your cap to come out of this program. So the health science, well, we're called the Medical Center Library, which is a little bit of a misnomer. We serve primarily the 6 colleges of medicine, medicine, dentistry, nursing, public health, pharmacy, and health sciences, which is allied health, health science and allied health, and PAs, PTs, and the rest of the health science crew. We also serve the UK healthcare endeavor. So our clinical division, I'm within the research and clinical services, I believe, research, instruction, and clinical services. So we also do clinical services, which is to say that we round with different departments, and we do point of need reference with our residents and our attendees. So we are fully embedded in both the academic and the health kind of complexes at the University of Kentucky. We have a sort of, at the same time, or as a result of that, we have 2 kind of masters instead of 2 people we serve. Not only are we interested in connecting what we do to learning outcomes, which is the typical academic librarianship endeavor, but we also have the extra burden of connecting our services and resources to health outcomes, which is a really fun task and something that's worth an entire career if that's what you're interested in pursuing. So I am the public health librarian, which puts me as a academic liaison to the College of Public Health, but it also means that I serve the public health needs of the Commonwealth, because we not only serve just the university, but we also serve the entire Commonwealth and the rest of the country as well. We have both, we are a branch library, but we're not really a branch library. So we have a reference, our whole sort of reference division and instruction, but then we also have cataloging. And then as Deirdre said, we have some special collections that have history of medicine and some other things. So there is some synergy across campus in that respect. We are offering 2 positions right now, 2 intern, they're paid intern positions. So if I could reiterate something that Deirdre said, if you're interested in getting a job when you're done, get experience, whether it be in, promise me it won't be at a bookstore. So we have 2 paid intern positions in our research, reference, instruction, and clinical services. That'll be primarily reference, and we've pulled in a few applications. So I think I can give you my email address, but that actually the call for applications is out there if you guys look back at the listserv. We also have a number of opportunities for practicum experiences, and those are unpaid, but they get you class credit and they get you experience. And the experience is the thing that is just going to put you head and shoulders above everyone else. I think, unless I'm missing anything. I mean,
I've had a lot of students, not just health science track students, who have worked as a student or have interned with or done their practicum at the medical center library on campus, have done interesting projects with lots of different types of materials, different groups of people, library users, and have gotten a lot from that experience, regardless of whether or not they went into that field. It puts you directly to track the type of experiences that you need to have to get a position in almost any library, any information professional organization. I would highly recommend looking into both special collections and on campus here in the medical center library. If you're looking for field experiences that are going to be particularly at UK or within this area in Lexington, I can definitely put you in touch with some people who have done field experiences there. It's a great opportunity.
yeah, and we're looking to make these meaningful experiences for you as well. So it does me no good to have you come in and just kind of act as a worker bee. I'd rather have you come in with an idea of a project that's going to relate to another class of yours or to experience that you want to gain. For instance, I know Lauren is looking at doing some work with copyright, and so she's approached us for practicum experience and wanting to go in that direction. So we're trying to kind of construct something that looks like what she's after. So this is not, us imposing on you, this is how it ought to be, but rather you being able to be creative and tell us what your expertise is. And then, mutually beneficial experience. So my email will be out there, shapiro.rm@uky.edu. Unless you guys have any questions. I doubt it. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I had initially been interested in health services librarianship, but I was discouraged because I heard from where I felt like I read that you wanted someone with a background in computer science or biology or directed more towards health.
It's helpful. The majority of those of you who said you were looking at academic librarianship, do you have experience in the discipline that you want to pursue? Yes, some of you do. It's increasingly, I don't know if this is good news or not. It's increasingly looked upon as a necessary, as a seriously preferred requirement in positions to have expertise in the area that you're looking to go into. That being said, so in that context, yeah, we would prefer to have someone that has that background. However, a lot of what we as librarians and information scientists learn is conceptual, and it crosses disciplines pretty easily. Once you understand syntax and of a particular database, that can transfer very easily to another database. So while it's important to be able to communicate with your population and you have a better understanding of their information needs, their barriers, and sometimes you may have a better understanding of how they practice their field, it's not absolutely necessary. No. And in fact, while I'm promoting sort of the health science library, I would be doing you a disservice not to promote the other research opportunities on campus. So during my master's program, I ended up getting a research assistantship with the College of Public Health, and that was huge. Provided me more experience than I could ever really speak to. And those opportunities are out there for someone with the skill set that you either have now or will be developing in your program to go out and apply it to a different area. So those of you who are interested in geography, for instance, look in geography for research assistantships. Those of you who are interested in other areas, find those employment opportunities, make yourself useful to those communities. And it will make you much more attractive when you get out of the program. Because jobs are hard. They're hard to come by. The idea that everybody's retiring is not happening. And I know we've been saying, I was just talking to Deirdre about this, they've been saying it since she was in school, and that's not to discourage you, it's to encourage you to do the best that you can in your program. Because UK is providing a lot of opportunity, so go out and take advantage of it. Absolutely take advantage of it and come out with a job.
I would just add that the track and the courses in the track and those electives that you see listed on the website, they're just more like guidelines. If you're interested I have a friend, she was in the program, recently graduated, and she was music education background. And so she had thought, I'm going to go in and I'm going to get a music library and I'm going to do all this stuff. I'm going to try this and this. And it's interesting that with everything that happened, she's now a cataloger for a law firm.
Right.
I hear stories like this all the time. And it definitely speaks to how versatile librarians and information science professionals are. If you see a class like, it's great consumer health resources comes up.
Yeah.
That's a great class to take, regardless of the track that you're choosing to follow through the program. That will help you in public librarianship. You have no idea, I have friends who work at a reference desk at public libraries, and you will get people who come to ask you these questions. There's stuff on the information highway there. And so it's not necessary to kind of box yourself in. If you see something interesting, you see an elective in another graduate program here that would be helpful to you. You want to take an open class in the College of Public Health and use that as your elective. Do it. I mean, talk to us about it. You have questions, but I think the more options you keep open, then the more experience you'll get, the more varied experience you'll get, the better you grow, and you can build up for your CV and your resume.
Yeah, just to sort of reiterate, you're not limited, and I'm sure, man, you guys have been over that a million times, more information than you need today. Take advantage of the classes that are offered outside of the college. Again, those are, subject specialization is going to be really important for you all. And so if you are interested in geography, go and take geography. Ensure that you have a cognate in your area. If you're interested in public health, take public health classes. If you're interested in musicology, take musicology classes. Yeah. Sorry. Off of my soapbox. But let me know, and do you have other questions? I should leave it open to you. Cool. Well, come and see us. We're sort of buried in the medical complex, but we do have nice quiet spaces for studying. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Good luck, everybody.
Okay, how's everybody feeling? You guys doing okay? Anybody need like a breather? We're all good? You want to stretch a little? No? Okay. I'll just keep trucking along then. So we've got a little out of order in the slideshow. So, welcome to orientation! 2 hours later. Like I said earlier, I'm really glad that you're all here. We did lose a couple people throughout the day. Hopefully they will be watching on the camera. We do have a couple of your distance classmates that are You had lunch and meet and greet. Did you enjoy meeting your professors, faculty? Now you can put faces with names. It's so nice. We are now in the review of program basics part, which I know you're all dying to hear. You get 45 minutes to be. It's so exciting. And then you have adventures with ALA. They have a fun activity planned for you this afternoon. So after I get done preaching at you for 45 minutes, you get to go do something fun. So look forward to that. Clearly, you all know who I am at this point. In case you don't, I am in fact Ashley DeWitt. You've probably seen my face in a couple of different places, but on the welcome video, in those lovely newsletters that you got from Heather, I'm sure you've seen my name in all the emails that I keep sending you, badgering you about classes and paperwork, and LIS and thank you for responding. If you ever need to reach me, that is my phone number. You all have my email address or set at this point, or you can always just walk upstairs and come see me if you happen to be here. Heather and I are here basically 8 to 5 every day out of the work week. So if you're on campus and you just want to stop by and have a question, you're more than welcome to come upstairs and talk to us. We're literally right when you walk in the door. If you just say, Ashley, Heather, we'll just pop our hands up and you'll know right where we are. You have met Dr. Dan O'Hare, our dean, who was in here earlier. You've also met the director of our school, Dr. Jeff Huber. Very important people to know. You may not have a lot of direct contact with them, but know that they're always there if you need them for anything. They are rooting to your best effort. The dean does a very good job of supporting this program, not only within the college, but at the university level as well. So we are very lucky to have a dean like Dan O'Hare. So we have our guest speakers, and now we get to talk about program basics. If you want to take notes, feel free. Heather and I did just put together a student handbook this morning that's on the website that has all of this information in it. So you can take notes or not take notes, it'll all be available, and you can always watch the video of this if you forget something. So what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about degree requirements. We're going to talk about classes, the portfolio, which everybody always freaks out about, there's no need to freak out, and some resources. So what do you have to take? I'm sure that you all remember this because you have filled out your course plan sheet, but in case you forgot, I'm going to go back over it. You have your core requirements. What that means is that you all have to take 600, 601, 602, and 603. Everybody takes those classes. It doesn't matter if you're a school library, it doesn't matter if you are a non-school library, everybody takes these classes. You also have to complete the Office Suite training, that's the technology training. You have until you get to 18 hours. That's 6 classes. That's usually an entire academic year if you're a full-time student, or even longer than that if you're taking classes part-time. So if you haven't started on those yet, please don't panic. You have time. Yes, that's beginning Word, advanced Word, beginning Excel, beginning and advanced PowerPoint, and beginning Access databases. Everybody has to do that. You will take other screenshots. Yes. I've had people send the screenshots in the zip file to the student affairs address, so that's perfectly fine. We just have to see it, and then we go, yep, you did it, okay. It's, I'll still be periodic reminders, not in this, there's a static email that has a little tutorial video and everything. It goes through, this is how you do it. So if you have any questions about that at any time, just email student affairs. We'll be happy to get you all set up for that.
Do we have to do that once, or do we have to do that every year?
You completed one.
Like you said, now they all, students are all eligible to download Office 2010 and 2013 through download.uky.edu.
For free.
Yep.
And a number of other programs, including EndNote, and I'm thinking might use the Flash. So, yeah. So 36 hours altogether. That's usually done over the course of 2 years, 4 semesters. Some of you will be part-time, you'll take a little longer to do it. Some of you will be full-time and actually do it even quicker than 2 years. This program is flexible. You can do this program as quickly or as slowly as works best for you. So don't feel like you need to take 3 classes every semester, or don't feel like if you want to take 4 that you can't. I would advise you to be carefully about the decision to take more than 3 because graduate classes are very difficult, and if you have a full-time job, it can be difficult to manage. That doesn't mean you can't be done. We have plenty of students that take more than 3 classes and do very, very well. And you just need to know your stuff. The other thing, you are not, is anybody in here school media, or any of you guys school media? Excellent. All of you will have other requirements. That's your IT requirements. 638, which is Internet Technologies and Information Systems. 668, which is Information Systems Design, or the 690 classes, which will become your best friend. Those are our special topics classes. They're not the same every year. It's when we have part-time faculty come in, when we have new faculty come in, they will teach special topics classes just like it sounds. So, for instance, last spring, we had content management. It was a Drupal class. That would count as your IT requirement because it is IT related. So any of those that have an IT element can count towards your IT requirement. If you have a question about whether or not a class will count for your IT requirement, please email me or Heather, and we will tell you yes or no so that you do not have to worry about it. You also have your foundational requirement. This is another choose category. You can take LIS 630, which is online information retrieval. You can take 621, which is Intro to Information Services, kind of basic reference class, or the practicum. I highly suggest the practicum because it is a great way to not only get course credits, but to gain experience in whatever you want to gain experience in terms of library and information services. So even those of you who's not in Lexington or near Lexington. So in your home communities, you can find a library, an information institution. You can work with your advisor to get a practicum set up for you. Somewhere that is not here. We recognize that a lot of you don't live in town, and so the on-campus opportunities may not work for you. That doesn't mean that you're out of luck for the practicum. We just need to find something more local. We can do that. So, if you want to do a practicum, please let your advisor know as soon as possible so that we can start working on that and get it all set up for you. Okay. And for the school media students, they have special requirements. So if you know anybody with school media, just have them check their program requirements. Does anybody have questions about the classes that you need to take? You also have, which you can do whenever you would like to with. Like we said before, you do have the option of taking cognate classes. That has to be approved before you can do it. And we need to get the other department on board too, because a lot of times they have to register you. We can't always do that if this course is closed. So if you want to take a cognate class, which is just any class that's not in our program, let your advisor know, let Heather and I know, and we will get started working on that with you. So if anybody wanted to take, say, an English class because you wanted to be an English subject specialist, that's fine. You just need to know that ahead of time so you can plan accordingly.
And Stitcher's a graduate level class.
It has to be graduate level. You are in fact in a graduate program and undergrad classes. That's what we have. Questions? Concerns?
Instead of because it's fast exposure one, is there a maximum number of years you have to graduate by?
Yes, 6. But 6 with a caveat, you can request up to 4 more. So the graduate school says, you must graduate in 6 years, but if you really need it, we'll give you more time. If you request 2 or less years, the dean of the graduate school approves that. Usually we don't have a problem, you do have to make your case. If you request more than 2 years, it actually has to go to the graduate council, so it may take a little longer. Most people don't have any problems finishing in 6 years. If you think that you're going to have an issue, just let us know sooner rather than later, and we will make sure to get started on that process for you.
The only thing to add to that would be if you end up in between taking more than a year off between classes, you do have to technically reapply to the program to get back into the class.
Except when you tell me soon enough that I can get you a leave of absence for up to a year. See, Heather and I, we are your keys to the kingdom here. If you want to do something, anything at all, and it might be a little bit weird, email me at Heather and we'll go, yes or no, and here's how to do it. We do have the option of a leave of absence. What happens, you let us know for whatever reason that you need to take some time off. The school edit happens, let's be real, we're all adults, we have a lot. Things may happen, you may not get to do the program 2 straight years in a row. Okay, that's fine. Email us before the semester that you need to take that leave of absence, and we'll get that paperwork started and make sure that that goes through the graduate school. The nice thing about a leave of absence is if you do it soon enough, you in fact don't have to reapply to the program, you can just come back. Which is really, really nice. You don't, nobody wants to do that application yet, right? Still classes, registration. Everybody's registered for their classes, right? Nobody's still kind of hanging around in another world. Good, that means you've been in touch with me and Heather, which is wonderful. You register yourself every other semester. Heather and I take care of you the first semester, and then we leave it in your capable hands. If October, early November, you go, I have no idea Anybody? Okay, so some of you who haven't taken an online class anyway. So you're probably freaking out a little, right? Okay, online learning does take a little more awareness. You need to be really on top of your projects, you need to be really on top of your due dates, your syllabus becomes your best friend. Because it is the key to what you have to do in the classes. If you haven't logged into Blackboard, sometime this week, go ahead and do it and see if your classes are available. You may already be able to get into some of them, see your syllabus, even though the semester hasn't technically started yet, it starts on Wednesday. But you should be able to see some of your classes. If you don't see them today, don't panic. Some of the instructors don't make them available until the day the classes actually start. That's not unusual. So, keep that.
This is run up very shortly, so gathering up. So they will, by the time the classes start, I know that finding books and if you haven't gone through the UK bookstore to see what your books are and having contact with your advisor, don't panic. You know, there'll be plenty of time, and at the beginning of the semester, if you're in a pinch, you can always email the advisor and say, hey, I'm not sure if there's a textbook, I haven't heard yet. If there is, I'm not sure how fast I can get it. Let them know your situation. The biggest thing is that if you need something or think you might have an issue that's going to happen, you have foreknowledge of that. You need to contact people in advance through their preferred method of communication, which is usually email.
So, this is a no panic. Everything is going to be fine. It is a con. What usually happens in online classes is that your instructors will say, okay, by the end of this week, and usually the weeks run for an actual week, some instructors start on a Tuesday, and then on Monday, start on Wednesday, depending on your class. But you'll roughly have a week, and they'll say, by the end of this week, you will have have done X. So you have all week to get whatever that is done. Usually it's discussion work post, you might have some kind of activity that you need to do. It'll all be in Blackboard, it'll all be in your syllabus. If for whatever reason you feel like you don't know what you should be doing, that is the point that you need to email your instructor and go, I've read the syllabus, but I'm really not sure what I should be doing this week. And they'll be more than happy to point you in the right direction. Especially at the beginning of every semester, our instructors understand that for some of you, this may very well be not only your first graduate class, but maybe your first online class. They get it. They don't want you to fall to pieces. They don't want you to feel like you don't have someone to talk to. So if you have questions, just email them. They're all lovely people. You had lunch with them today. Very, very nice. Very, very affable. You know who they are. Never feel like you can't contact anybody in this program. Everybody wants to see you. And if you're having a problem, we want to know about it so that we can help you as soon and as fast as we can. Okay? Are we feeling better? Yes. That's what I like. Course evaluation. How many of you guys remember these from being an undergrad? They're really, really, really important to do. And I don't just say this because I'm an instructor and ask my students to do them. This is the way that our instructors know how to make classes better, how to make their teaching better. If you don't do them and don't give them feedback, they can't possibly make any changes. Or they can't know what's going really well and to repeat it. So when you get these the last couple weeks of class, please take the 5 minutes that they take to do and do them. All of yours will be online because the program's online. Usually, even if you have a face-to-face class at this point, it will be online. You'll do it through the Canvas evaluation system, but there'll be a link in Blackboard. So you have plenty of time to access it, plenty of time to do it. Please take the 5 minutes to do it. It means a lot to our instructors. And no, don't get them until after your grades are posted and your name is in no way associated with whatever it is that you rate them and will write. They have no idea whether it's you or not you. So, we're all going to do our course exams, right? Not a good one. Good. Incomplete. You fall apart in the middle of the semester, or towards the end of the semester, let's be honest, it happens each semester sometimes, and you just cannot finish your work for whatever reason. One, contact your instructor as soon as you're struggling. Are we simply a team here? Your instructor, and it's up to your instructor, can assign an incomplete for a class. You don't fail, you get an incomplete. And when you have an incomplete, you have 12 months or until you graduate, whichever one comes first, to finish whatever work you haven't done for that class and to get an actual letter grade. If you don't finish it within 12 months before graduation, whichever comes first, you do get an E. But your instructor needs to know that you're struggling, and they need to know that you would perhaps like them to try to contact you, but if you don't respond, they won't know what's wrong. Incomplete are things, we do assign them when students need them. So, don't just kind of fall apart in a class and disappear into another one. We'll be very sad and try to understand. Let somebody know so that we can help and maybe kind of complete it about the direction. Moving on, withdrawal. This is also another option. If you're getting to the end of the semester and you're realizing that there is literally no way that you are going to pass a class, it might be worth it to withdraw. This is true at any point in the semester. Maybe you decided to take 3 classes this semester, you get 4 weeks into the semester and realize, I really don't think I can manage this. You have the option of withdrawing. If the withdrawal deadline, and I go over it, it's way in November, you can withdraw yourself from classes. I would suggest talking to your instructor before you just withdraw yourself, because they will again wonder what happened to you. But this is an option. And I say this because it's something you're going to go over in a minute. There's a GPA requirement for this program, like there is for any graduate program. And there's a limit on the number of fees that you can get. And not like undergrad, you can kind of get as many fees as you want as long as your GPA stays the same. Here, even if your GPA is above a 3.0, which is what we ask you to maintain, if you get more than 3 fees, you're dismissed from the program. You don't want to get fees, you want to get B's and A's, hopefully A's. But if it looks like you're probably going to end up with a C and you already have a couple, or that you're probably going to fail, you can withdraw from your class, and it doesn't go on your transcript. You'll see the W, it's like accounting extra GPA. So, if you are struggling, talk to your advisor, talk to the instructor in that class, let them know what's going on, and discuss the possibility of maybe withdrawing if that's something you need to do. There is your shame and saying, I've taken off more medication. Just be honest with yourself. We will understand. Absolutely. I want you to make sure that you get into whatever class it is the next semester or the next year if you need to take it again. No shame. No stressing, no shame. Everything happens. You have had enough. We're very good. There is also a repeat option. So say something there will happen and you get a C in a class, especially core class, and you think, I can do better than that. I know I can do better than that, and I'm worried about my GPA. Graduate school lets you repeat 1 class to replace that grade with a new grade. So if you get a C or even an E in a class, and you say, I would really like another shot at that. We failed a repeat for and we will go again, and whatever grade you get the second time around completely wipes away whatever grade you got the first time. So if you got an E, you failed the first time, you get an A the second time, that E goes away.
There's no
Never
question
seen
about
again.
that either.
Huh?
There's no question that you have to have such a circumstances to do the repeat option, and that could be, oh, well, I got this because I had this going on. There's no question that.
Everybody gets a repeat if they want. We won't even ask you what happened, we'll just go, I'd like to repeat this class. We'll go, okay, here's your paperwork, we'll file it. That's it, that's all that happens. Heather and I are here for you in whatever capacity you need us to be here for you. We will have access to everything, we are very responsible people. So if you need something done, and we can do it, we will do it. If we can't do it, we'll get Will or Dr. Beaver to do it. We are here to help. So like I said, 3.0, we want you to maintain a 3.0. That's not to say that you're immediately gone and you fall below a 3.0. There are things called academic probation, which some of you may be remembering from undergrad, where we give you a shot to bring your GPA back. Things have happened. Please don't freak out. Some of you are looking really sad now that it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. There's time. Even if you fall over 3.0 to get it back up again. If something happens, like I said, let us know. And like I said before, 3 C grades. So on that 3rd C, you can do this from the program. You don't make us do that. It's like, so that's the case where if it looks like you're maybe going to get the 3rd C, that might be the semester withdrawal from the class. Just say it. Just watch your GPA, be aware of what grades that you've gotten. We usually don't have problems, and we will work with you. We're getting that theme too. Heather and I are here for you. You feeling it? Feeling love? The other thing that people freak out about, especially the new people, so let me give you happy news.
You don't have to take an all exam. Yay! You don't have to write a thesis. Yay! You don't have to give an oral defense of the thesis that you don't have to write. Yay! What you do have to do is a portfolio. This is also a yay. Because everything that goes into that portfolio, with the exception of the essay that you write to go along with it, you do in classes. They're called artifacts. They are your course projects. So it's things that you already do anyway. You're not having to create more. So the components, you do a resume or a CV, which you should have working the whole time you're in graduate school anyway. But you turn in one of those. You turn in a personal statement. There are actual questions that you answer. So don't feel like, I know what to write. There's kind of a prompt that goes with it. Heather and I have guidelines up on the website that you can go ahead and look at. You also include a learning outcomes essay, where you say, this is the artifact that I created, and this is why, and why is very important. It shows that I have met, fulfilled, and demonstrate this core competency. We give you the core competencies, your instructors will go over them in class with you. You will have plenty of time to work on this because you do not submit this until the semester that you're graduating.
And all of those artifacts are your class projects.
So
We'll create anything new just for the portfolio besides that learning outcomes essay, which is less of an essay, more of a,
it's an explanation.
yeah, of an explanation.
You're basically rationalizing why you are now fit to be a professional in this field. Yay! Isn't that fun?
Plenty of information and resources, video workshops, meetings. Think about this as you go on your journey closer to graduation. So the only thing in terms of being considerate about things you need for the portfolio as a new student, save your projects. And please save them in a local spot.
Blackboard.
Blackboard is
It's
out
out
of
of Blackboard.
but it's more like a friendly sometimes because we like it to shut down or
Eating.
malfunction sometimes because it is a computer software thing and it does that. So make sure you have your hard drive on a pin drive, wherever you can save those really important class documents, your final projects, projects from your practice notes, if you do practice notes, anything like that. Just make sure you have it saved at multiple points. I can't tell you how sad it makes me when someone tells me, oh my gosh, I need to have my portfolio done in a couple weeks and I
can't find
this
before
class,
date.
I can't find this, I don't know how to get in touch with the instructor, they're not here anymore, what happens? If you take the time now to save everything you do in class, both in Blackboard and especially off of Blackboard, and have it organized and have that structure set in place, you're going to be so well prepared by the time all this comes that you don't have any work.
The moral of the story is don't just leave it in Blackboard. Because you will be that person that calls Heather or I 3 weeks before the portfolio is due is saying, I can't get anything from my 600 class. And we'll go, we can't get anything from your 600 class either. We don't do that per se. Just save everything outside of Blackboard. You can keep it in Blackboard too, but just have it in multiple places. That way, you won't be the person who's freaking out. Heather and I are magical.
I
In
mean,
any
there's
way.
a lot of things that between us and the office and the grad school that we can make happen, but we're not magicians. So it's really up to you to make sure that you're being really good stewards of your work and stay notified.
You also do not have to wait until your last semester to start working on your essay. Portfolio guidelines are always available. What I will tell you is that they do get modified every so often. When you turn your portfolio in, the semester that you turn it in, you need to make sure that you have the most current guidelines, even if you've been working on another set of guidelines, just to check to make sure that nothing has changed. We will let you know when the portfolio guidelines get updated, but you could go today with the portfolio guidelines and at the end of this semester, start working on your essay. For whichever classes you're in this semester. That's not a bad idea. But in last semester, you are not taking 3 classes and working on your portfolio at the same time. Do yourself a favor, work on this along the way. Yes.
How often do the portfolio guidelines typically change? Not very often.
Maybe every year and a half.
I
biggest thing this time is that the numbers change. They used to be 1.5 to 7.8, and now they're 1.2.
Yeah, they're very, not
Much nicer.
So those kind of changes. So, but nothing that would override like the entire structure of the portfolio. So nothing to worry about.
So you can download the portfolio guide, say if you want to, or let me know. This is not meant to be scary. What this really is nice for is that it gives you something when you go on the job hunt that you can pull things out and say, this is what I did and this is how I can help your organization because I've already done something like this. Actually gives you something to take with you on your job hunt to show that you are capable in this field. Also, like I said, forces you to articulate why you will be a good professional so that you are already prepared to answer those questions when people ask that of you during a job interview. You will already know the answer. Because you live in the it's meant to help. And it's much nicer as someone who's done it for all defense, much nicer than an old defense.
Is it electronic?
Yes, it's all through Blackboard.
The
Everything
portfolio
is
is,
Blackboard.
the portfolio is.
And you will have walkthrough tutorials, you will have, we really supervise when it comes to making sure students have that information. There will be, during your final semester when you say, I'm going to be graduating, when you're letting us know, you could add it to the mailing list just for portfolios. There'll be a whole series of information just for portfolios, and if you ever have a question, we're always there to answer. Again, nothing to be worried about right now, except for making sure you stay focused.
So please don't forget about the portfolio. Not putting into your phone. About a month before you want to graduate, a month before your final semester, let your advisor know that you're planning on graduating. They kind of need to know that. And then your last semester is when you actually use the whole portfolio. It is okay if you tell Heather and I, say it's the spring semester, you tell us in January, February that you want to submit your portfolio, and March comes around and you realize that you can't. For whatever reason, you can't submit that semester. That's fine. You just won't sit. This is the graduate school thing. You will not sit for the exam, because we're one of these programs that doesn't have an exam. You just don't sit that semester. So we count against you, it's fine. We'll just do your paperwork, whatever semester you plan on graduating, we'll do it the next semester. So if you don't do it in the spring, you can do it in the summer, you can do it in the fall. That's fine. So don't panic if you think you're going to submit your portfolio and you actually don't.
Is there any kind of defense for the portfolio?
Learning options that say really.
You're learning options that say-
And it is, I mean, basically, it is a big fleshed out outline. If you just go through those learning outcomes and you go, outcome one, I did this with this in this class this year, so I know I got this. And
Because
yeah.
that is very important.
Yeah, and it's a very, and that language and everything will be talked about in the portfolio guidelines and in video workshops that are done. That's really the only defense. And if you do, and we have many students who, things happen or the course load is too much of taking 3 classes on writing my portfolio, and then they end up doing the portfolio next semester, that's a 0 credit course. So we'll pay you the tuition, don't pay the tuition. So if you do need that extra time to get your portfolio ready, and you want that extra time, just let us know.
It'll all be fine. This is my message for you today. Everything that you're worried about, it will all be fine.
Now, I hear it's not unusual to submit the finished draft to your advisor ahead of time. Is that still true?
There is, if you get your portfolio essay is done soon, and usually the cutoff is 2 weeks before they're actually due, you can ask your advisor for their feedback. They can actually read through your essay and give you feedback. So there's a check. And the check before you even submit. The earlier you can get those essays to your advisor, the better off you are, because especially in the spring, they can have 5, 10, 15 people graduating, just one advisor. So think about how many essays they have to read. So the sooner you can get theirs in, the more feedback they can give you. We do have workshops, we have videos that you can watch about the portfolio. It is not as scary as it sounds. You just need to start on it before 2 weeks before it's due. Please don't wait till the last minute. It is not something that you can really throw together a week before it's due. You need to give yourself a little more time. I personally, when I submitted mine, did a lot of the work over winter break last year. in January, I had comments back at the beginning of February, and then I submitted my portfolio 3 weeks before it was due, and I was done. I'm not worried about it. Everybody gets graded at the same point in time. So once they're due, the advisors start to grade them, and within 2 weeks of you submitting it, after that deadline, so the deadline is March the 7th, 2 weeks after that, you will have a decision back. You'll know whether you passed or not.
And it doesn't matter how early you submit it, you're still gonna hear back 2 weeks after everyone else.
Everyone else is zero. So you can submit it in January, you're not going to hear anything back until March.
I have an exit requirement question from
Yes.
one of our online people, and this might be being answered later, but there are some extra requirements in terms of where you are in the program and your eligibility to graduate in terms of classes you are taking. So one of those would be your technology requirement and LIS 600, which is your the primary core course information society. Those you need to have them done before the semester that you intend to graduate from the program.
So there's, basically you can consider there's 6 courses that you can't take. Any of them your very last semester that you wanted to make your core program. 600, 601, 602, and 603, your core courses. Makes sense, because we have to do those in your first 18 hours anyway, and your technology class. The reason we say you can't do those your last semester is because you need the artifacts from them to submit your portfolio. You cannot in fact submit an artifact that you haven't made yet. So, you need to have all those courses done before the semester that you want to graduate. So as long as you have those 6 courses out of the way, it's a matter to us what you did that last semester. Just make sure that those topics are finished. Does that make sense? All of this is in the handbook. Some of you, your eyes are starting to glaze over. I feel like you're a little bit into information overload. I'm really sorry, this will help you get through. But there are resources, all this information is on the website, it's in the student handbook, it's all there for you, and if you have questions, you can always email me or look, Heather, the next one. Yay! See, I have a question. Resources. So if you have a question and you need an answer, you go. The website, I hope you've all been on the website, it's lovely, although sometimes it's difficult to navigate website, but it's there. If you can't find something, you don't have it in mind, I'll tell you where it is. The Writing Center. The Writing Center does have graduate student consultants, which means that the Writing Center folks can meet with you, even if you are a completely online student. There are online appointments. You do not physically have to be in Lexington. Yay! That's amazing. I say this as well because I used to be assistant director of the Writing Center, and we got online appointments the last year that I was there. It was a very lovely thing. UKY.mywconline.com. They're all wonderful. They're more than happy to help you. Keep in mind this is not an editing service. It's a Writing Center. So you can't just drop your paper off and go, will you fix all my comments like this? It's not really how this works. It's a chance for you to sit down, virtually or in face-to-face, one-on-one with a consultant and talk about your writing and ways to make it better. That's not to say anyone will go through a paper with you, but it's not their job to fix every single mistake that you make. They're going to highlight the common things that you do and teach you how to fix them so that you don't keep making those same mistakes or something like that. It is a wonderful service. If you need assistance, it is something to schedule several weeks in advance because those plans you will have. The Writing Center serves, and I'm not joking, as an undergraduate, graduate student, faculty member, and staff member on the campus. And there's about 20 consultants. Yeah. So, book your appointments early. It's okay if you have to cancel on the Writing Center. Very understanding. You can cancel them even online. So do them early. UKID changes names gradually. So right now, they are UK. It's UKID. If you've got Blackboard questions, technology questions, your email isn't working for whatever reason, you have access issues, your link with password is wrong, they are there for you. Notice that even the website is still UKID. Don't be surprised if in the time that you're in the program you change names to the Blackboard Wiki. If you haven't really used Blackboard or if you've only used it sparingly, in the next 2 or 3 days, this is a very handy resource for you. There is a page, they said, pages that are just for students. It will walk you through Blackboard, the in, the out, how on earth do I submit an assignment, what are the discussion boards have at work. All of that is in the link. Wiki will become your new best friend when Blackboard is being a little finicky, which quite honestly happens a lot.
And there's tutorials on the LIS's YouTube page, which is YouTube/UK/LIS, that I put together a couple semesters back because I was a little frustrated personally trying to use Blackboard. I thought someone else might YouTube, and I thought it was and everything. So there's some walkthrough guides about how to use things like the messaging, doing group study groups in Blackboard, things like that, tools that people may not even come up through instructors that are available to you to use, especially for online classes with distance students being involved. So those that walkthrough tutorial series also on.
Okay, I'm going to slide, because I can't do the rest of it because we're already running a little behind. I know some of you may need to go out and leave before AO takes you over. So, I'm going to faster than normal. But if you have any academic issues, like every university institution of higher learning, we have an ombud, that is how you contact them. And the Disability Research Center, if for whatever reason you need accommodation, these are the people that you need to talk to. You need to go ahead and talk to them early so that they can get whatever notification accommodation set up with your instructor. So opportunity is in fact not just about class. Your student organization. We have a strategic clean break. We have the study lab trip that you've already heard about, and we have a brand new program as of literally Monday. Well, I'm going to say Monday, last week, called Service LIS. You guys don't even know about this yet. Yay! It's so exciting. So student organizations, ALA, WAVE. I was president of ALA when I was in the program. I'm very happy to say that the officers this year are wonderful. Who ate lunch with Melinda? Melinda's program. There we go. We had interim officers last year, so they had to break the titles and rules today. Website, Facebook, Twitter, and we're going to talk to you. We also have Litho Wave. This is Morgan, newly elected. Litho is your social kind of let's get together, let's create a community organization. We're going to talk to you in just a second when I release FOI, I'm going to turn it over to her for just a second. Be involved in student organizations. I know that you probably think, I don't have enough time for this, but this is a really great way, not only to get to know each other and make those connections, because you guys don't know where you'll all be in 5 years, and one of you may have a job in an institution that another one of you wants to get into. Make friends with each other because you will be professionals together. You're going into this field together. You need to know each other because you are valuable resources for each other. We also have a chapter of SLA. We don't have a representative here today, but their contact information is up there. All of this is on the website if you want to contact our student board. Good morning. I'll turn it over to you. Talk about the field.
Hi guys. I'm Morgan. I'm the new local president. Daniel was there before me. I'm sure you guys already met him. He's awesome. But so probably got a few emails from me from the past 2 weeks. We just had elections and everything. And we're still trying to figure out like the treasurer position, but it's coming together. We're going to have a meeting in 2 weeks as soon as everything is finalized. And so you better look out for an email about that. Litho is just about having fun. We don't do like crazy anything. We're always about being very casual. You just show up if you want to. We don't have to take attendance or be there at a specific time. You decide that you can't be there right when I say let's go to classes at 7. Show up an hour late. We have a tendency to sit around and talk for 3 hours. It's not a big deal. We like to go out to eat. We like to go to Keeneland, to the horse races. We've done a lot of other things. We tried to go to the aquarium last year. Didn't work out. We're going to try it again. And we've made a connection with the Cincinnati Zoo. They have a library, so we're going to try to make a trip up to there this I hope to see all of your pretty faces at the memorial event this year.
And with the book club, you guys do, like an online thing too, right?
Yeah, we always have online options when we can.
Even if you're not here, you still be a part of it. Read the book. Alternative spring break. Raise your hand if you've gone on alternative spring break. Yay! Okay. This is quite possibly the coolest part about being in this program. We are only one of 2 LIS programs that get to do this. And what is this? This is a week-long internship at either the Library of Congress or the National Library of Medicine during the paid spring break. Now, don't you all want to go? Yes. It is really competitive. The school typically sends anywhere between 5 to 15 students each spring break. The number of students depends on the amount of funding we get because every student gets at least $1,000 to go. So that you can pay for your transportation and your housing and your food while you're there. So that's not an economic hardship for you students. It is amazing. I worked in the historic and newspaper collection. I had newspapers dating back to about 1850, but I got it into a database so that other researchers could find them. No one had touched these newspapers in years. Some of them like 70 or 80 years. They just sat on a shelf. And I was the first person to do them. So you might be able to do something like that. Lori, what did you do at LIS?
I worked at the National Library of Medicine and I did 4 or 5 projects. I worked in 2 sections, the public service access section and the collection section. Really wordy. But what I did is I essentially went through the website, found updated materials that I thought that could be added to these guides that we create, both on statistics, medicine, nursing, and kind of all over the place. And I worked on that for a while. They had implemented a new tagging system, so I worked on creating kind of new tags so they could assign all their circulation and reference questions, these tags to help better make it more user-friendly. And then I worked with collections in ILL, worked with DocLine, if you know what that is. It's the National Library of Medicine's ILL service. And at OCLC, I worked with them trying to reduce the redundancies of ILL at National Library of Medicine. I got to see the collection, which is 3 stories underground, completely closed, all to anyone. That was really neat. It's really old. Medical books.
The call for applications will go out in October. If for whatever reason you're not chosen the first year, so if you don't get to go next spring break, you can apply again the next year. Okay? So please don't worry if you don't get to go the first year. Like I said, 5 to 15 students, not everybody gets a chance to go, but we send as many students as we possibly can. The year that Heather and Daniel and I went, there were 17 of us.
And the year before, when I had applied, I didn't make it the first time.
Yeah.
So I learned, worked more, got more experience, went back, applied again, and I got in. It was really, really big. And then there was a pretty big group last time also. I actually got to work at the Library of Congress. I was in the Jefferson building, which is the older building that had all the wonderful art.
The one that you can get.
Which is what I did my senior project on in art history when I was an undergraduate. So I was really excited about that.
And in terms of,
Well, you know, like the Ireland trip. Okay, so.
And if you're a smart shopper, that $1,000 will cover the whole trip, just for me.
generally what students do is they go down Saturday or Sunday. I would suggest Saturday, just to give you Sunday.
Much extra
So,
time to
and
do
because
that.
you will work from 8 to 5 every day, and every day in Washington, D.C. basically closes at 5. So if you want to do anything fun, you're going to have to be on the weekend and have to do the work trip.
And NLM is actually not in DC. So if you were interested in health, it takes a lot more time to commute to and from there. So we stay kind of on the northwest side. But if you all have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer. It's not part of your practicum or anything like that, but it is an incredibly unique opportunity that you will not be able to find. It's something that on a CV or your resume phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
So if it sounds like this is something that you would be really interested in doing, start working on your application as soon as that fall goes out. Go ahead and submit. Some of you may very well get to go your first year. It depends on who submits. Some of you may not get a chance to go into next year. Some of you may not get a chance to go at all. It's the nature of the program. But it is well worth going if you can. It is amazing. And the librarians love it because we've been doing this for about 4 or 5 years now. And there are projects that they lead all year just for when we get back. Those are our projects. So like the historic and paper collection, stuff that I worked on, the students who went back this year picked up right where we left off the year that I. It's great. And so people will come back and go, did you see the so and so such and such? And we're like, yeah, I totally saw that. So you'll have that kind of consistency.
Do you get to choose kind of what you do while you're there?
They have specific projects. So what'll happen when the call goes out, usually if you've heard back from LIS or their Congress at that point, and they'll say, these are the projects that we need people to work on, and that will actually be part of your cover letter. You'll go, these are the projects I want to work on, and here's why I need to have. So you'll have a chance to kind of know what you'd like to do, and then it's up to the units in the two institutions to take you back. So you might end up in your very top choice if you get chosen, that's what happened to me, or you may not even end up in one of the three that you picked, but it's something else that is still equally amazing, but wasn't on your list. So you do have a chance to articulate what you want to work on. And the project range, I think there was 30 or 40 different ones to pick from last year, so.
Yeah, there was 5.
There were 5 years.
So I think that they had such a good experience from the previous groups, at least with, I know UK and I think UT is the other program that goes there, that they have, just very graciously had this open up to us and they really welcome the students who are coming to intern there and the work that you do. And I can just say that, you know, if you have the opportunity to apply and this is something you're interested in, do it. And if you need any help or want any questions about it, you can ask about it.
We're here to answer any questions, and we usually have some kind of talk about this. The video should be up for the last couple of years that we've done it, so you can hear people talk about what they actually did. You can listen to Heather and I talk in English too if you want to. Study abroad, I'm not going to go into. You already heard Dr. Connor talk about it. I did go, like you said, I had a lot of fun. It is a good chunk of your summer. So it can be difficult if you have a full-time job. You need to go ahead and start putting ideas into maybe your bosses or manager's head about why this would be a really good thing for you to do so that you can take the time off of work to do it. And it's well worth the effort to go. You will be exhausted when you get back, but it will be a lot of fun. So, service list. This is brand new, maybe, guys. So, this service list was implemented in communities, and the point of this is that we can start to feel really isolated in this program. Some of us are distant students, some of us are in Lexington, but we take all these different classes. It can be difficult to feel like you're part of something bigger. It's not like a residential program, there's a lot of graduate programs that really know your cohort. This may be the last time some of you see each other face to face. So we got working. How can we fix that? And so we came up with this idea of service. Service that you already do, service that you want to do. Any kind of service for any community. Volunteer work, donations, drives, disaster relief. It doesn't matter. Human welfare, inner welfare, health and wellness, community engagement, outreach, like I said, disaster relief. Anything that you do for your church, for your community group. Maybe you have a knitting circle. Maybe you go read to the elderly. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even have to have anything to do with libraries. Maybe you donate to your local humane society. We don't care what it is. What we want to do is know about it. What are you doing? So we're going to have your report, and we're going to do a big announcement over the listserv about this program. But we just want you to tell us, what are you doing in your community? How are you making an impact? What are you involved in? And we're actually going to collect data, Heather and I are, and we're going to put together newsletters so you can see what other people are doing. Maybe some of you are donating or volunteering at the same organizations that don't even know. And at the end of the year, we're going to put together a really cool infographic that's going to show you how many different communities we've impacted, how many service hours the school programs are getting. And it's not just students, it's faculty and staff and the alumni too. Everybody everybody. We're also going to have something called Service Spotlight. And we're going to do this every 3 months. And this is if you want to, when you fill out that form, there'll be a place that you can put your name, or you can remain anonymous. Your name doesn't have to be attached to your service, your donation, your debt, whatever. If you would like to be recognized, possibly, go ahead and put your name and we'll contact you. Every 3 months, we're going to do the Service Spotlight, where we talk to a couple of you about what you're doing. Why are you donating to where you're donating? Why did you pick your local community society? What got you started in the first place? Why are you really passionate about what you're doing? How does it impact your community? We want the other students to know who you are, because what we're doing is to get to know each other. That's a way for you to figure out what volunteer opportunities are available. So we're going to keep it running. Here's all the stuff in Lexington that people are doing. Here's all the stuff in Louisville. Here's stuff in Cincinnati. Here's how we're getting capacity out in Seattle. This is what they're doing. So if you're in the Seattle area, you can go join this too. So that you can all start to connect with each other outside of classes. Does it sound like something that you might be willing to do? I'm going to say yeah. It's also a way to encourage all of us to serve more. Because it can be really easy, especially in grad school, to get bogged down in our own lives. And sometimes we forget that we need to give back. However we can, whether that's your time, whether that's money, whether that's stuff. It doesn't matter. So give back, because it'll give you a new perspective on life, and it'll refocus your priorities. And it's really easy to get stuck in your coursework. Happens to the best of us. We really focus on that project that's centric, and you forget everything else. So like I said, this is stuff that you're already doing. This is stuff that you plan to do in the future. If you do walk the tour or relate to life, that works for this too. Anything that benefits a community. It's all good. Guys, are we diving into this? All right, good. If you have different salaries, if you have questions, you can email Heather or myself. We are going to get the Google form up. You guys can just start taking it in. Look for that probably sometime next week. As you can probably understand, Heather and I have a little bit going on this week. Just a little. So we will get that up and ready to go as soon as we can, and we'll make a big announcement about it. Questions? Things that you need to know. You may want to write this down. They are in the academic calendar, but tomorrow is the last day drop of class and the week before recess. You don't even get to go to class the first day if you want a full refund. Drop it by tomorrow. If you're not going to take it. Wednesday is the first day of classes. I'm sure you already know this. If you have a Wednesday face-to-face class, you really have to do Wednesday unless you're returning to do otherwise. Most of the other classes will be next week. September 3rd is the last day to add a class. So maybe you decided you want to pick up one more. That's fine. You can do that up until September 3rd. October 20th is midterm. We don't really have midterm like you had in undergrad. It's more kind of a passing of the day. Most of your classes are not going to have a midterm. Some of them very well might. I think we did a collection development. But it doesn't have the same intensity that it is in undergraduate. So we just want you to know that's kind of what it is. You probably will notice it when we get to it. November 3rd. Yay, you get to register for spring classes. That's when priority registration starts. You may not register exactly on November 3rd, but that's when it starts. So you may register before that. Start thinking about what you want to do for spring. We should be posting the spring schedule very soon.
And if you're taking any of the core classes and you're in like 602 and 603, but you need, 600, 601, it's still you'll be okay.
Remember when I talked about withdrawals? You can do that yourself until November 7th. If it is after November 7th and you want to withdraw, you need to email me and we'll go the best way. A little more complicated than if you just do it yourself before November 7th, but it is still possible. Don't think it's not possible, because it is. December 12th, yay, you will have made it through the semester, and you will be so excited. Except that I will be given over until the next semester. So the last day of class is the 12th, and then final week is over on the 19th. Those are the dates that you need to remember for this semester. Questions?
For priority registration, is that like it was in undergrad where they go based on how many hours you've done and then those people go first?
Yes. The nice thing is that you're against the grad. doctoral students will have more, but because this is a master's program, we'll have a doctoral student. So the likelihood is that you will still be able to go to the next one. If you can't, for whatever reason, the section's still up, let us know. It may be the case sometimes we have enough interest that we do actually open another section of class, and that's the one thing. But there has to be quite a lot of you to do that. So we need to keep a running list, and we know how to keep them on that class. Now, seriously, question. Anything at all? Burning desires, things I have not talked about. Yes.
Okay, I don't know if you want to get into this in great detail, but I wondered if you could say a bit about why we had to configure our email through the Google app, that would cause more issues for me.
I have literally nothing to do with it.
I can
Daniel?
comment a little bit on that. A couple of years ago, the university moved its student email to the cloud-based provider, and so that's pretty much the answer. Yeah, all the student emails handled either through the Google app or through the Microsoft app.
Okay.
But is it good to hear?
My email is the worst applications right now because I also have an Exchange account for my job, so
Lovely.
yeah. And I tell you what, with working with like the LIS portion or with publicly or your instructor, make sure that you let them know this is the preferred email address. If you contact me through here, or else I might not get it. And right in advance that situation, and it's something that's happening probably a lot more frequently, especially at UK places, where we have possibly 4 or 5 different email accounts or anything. So, whichever is your preferred, I would let your instructor know. Let us know, obviously, because we want to be able to reach you. We have if there's something important to tell you about. So whatever's your primary contact, we keep a database of all the students. We just need to make sure that email is where we're sending your information to you.
And I'll give you my email address, and we'll see about consolidating some of that too. The contact app.
Daniel, doesn't it? Other questions, concerns, you haven't talked about that you're dying to know? Comments, actually, I don't think I can. Yes.
Are most of the elective classes online?
Almost everything is on, unless it's your 606, 1, 6, 2, 6, or 3, and sometimes 636. Pretty much everything is going to be online because the majority of the classes are online. So in order for the students to get that class, we can't offer a face-to-face because they would have to be here. So to open it up to everybody, we do it online. That's not to say that your instructors may not have kind of an optional thing. If you're here in town, Dr. O'Connor has a tendency to do that with her classes. So she'll tell the face-to-face folks that when they're here in town or close, if you want to meet in person, let's find a day and we'll do kind of a face-to-face session. That's not to say that she'll do it for every class, but in 2 classes that I had with her, she did do that. So it is possible that even if your class is online, one of your instructors may decide to give an optional, and it's always optional, face-to-face kind of interaction like that. Other questions? Have I just completely shot your mind? Come on. I'm here for you.
If anybody has any general campus services questions, so we could probably, between the 3 of us, we could probably take pretty good track at it.
Alright, I'll throw them at you. Student health insurance. Alright, considering you should have had a little email saying you can go download your ID card, right? That is not true for me, so I can worry.
Okay, I haven't got anything about that either.
So, who are my GAs? Who are my GAs that are, like, who are GAs that are actually new? Sorry. Have you guys got your new ID cards this year?
No, but I didn't get mine last year until after school had already started.
Okay.
A couple weeks after. But there is a weird thing about if you're not a GA, you have to pay your fees to get the student health insurance.
Yeah.
So it,
I think it's something like a supplement to the student health insurance program. I did get something like that, actually physically in the mail.
yeah.
That's all I, that's all I know.
But if you read instructions, it says, we're gonna do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it took us a while to figure this out, but
Okay, so I was not a GA last year, so this will apply for everyone else who isn't a GA. To get student health at UK, you have to pay an extra $450 on
taking help, like your sections or you
Yeah,
have
for
an
small
thing,
stuff.
that is covered in your basic help, student help. But if you're taking all online classes, your fees have been waived, so you do not pay them unless you request to pay them. Does that make sense?
The university assumes if you're an online student that you are not anywhere near to the collecting center. You couldn't possibly need the on-campus services, so they don't put those fees in your tuition. Which is great, because it means that you don't have to pay for things that you can't use. But if you do actually happen to be in Lexington and want to do healthcare, you do have to contact them and say, I would like to pay this fee because I can use these services. We only have a couple of institutions that apply to you, because most of the time, if you take even one, they class, they have that fee in for you.
So same for the Johnson Center and the student athletic facilities, there's a fee for those too.
And like the tickets that you, the fees came last year.
Yeah, that's all included in like the 450 package.
Yeah. It went up, so it's 502 now.
Lori, if you guys will email me later today, we'll start checking in as much as we can and see what's going on. I don't have an answer because I've never originated sort of school, so that's a little beyond my realm of knowledge, and things are not know everything.
I do know that when I was a GA, I contacted somebody and they did send me like, I guess, some sort of printable, like temporary, until they did, mine, which did come after classes started. And your direct supervisor, your GA, should be able to, assist more in getting academic.
Okay, Brittany just pulled her email up, and she apparently got this literally the day after classes started. So, by the end of this week, if you have heard nothing, send us an email, and we will search on your account. Other questions? Yes, wait, yes?
I have another question.
Yes.
That's something in the account manager, I don't remember what it is off the top of my head, but it has to do with the forwarding, I think, forwarding settings. Go to ukam.uky.edu and get into the account manager and see if it has, the exchange settings are in there somewhere. They have service desks at Young and in McVeigh and over at the Student Center also. Yeah, just down in the basement over at Young.
Yes. Okay, yes and no. If you want to have a student ID so that you can use it or else you can use it for, walk down to the student center and go get one. If you're never going to set for elections again, you will probably never need to have one.
If you want to get game tickets and all, you'll need it.
So, if you want to movies, if you want to go across,
Should. And if you're going to be studying on campus and you want to use Young Library after 10 p.m., you have to have a student ID.
So the answer is yes and no. If you want to study as a student ID, you can go get one as a distance student. If you're never going to be on campus, you probably will not need it for anything. 15. It's a nice memento. Yes.
Does the Young Library, do they do a source finder like this, like they did?
Source finder?
Yeah, where I was completely online student and then they use the library, their city library, they would send me books through the mail. Postage paid and all that.
They do their books? Okay, yeah, get on our website and look for the distance learning lady, or, well, we have a distance learning section. Carla can tell you all that stuff, yeah.
I got my library card, I got that, and she said that my pickup.
Okay.
The Young Library. Wait, I might not have done the same job.
Yeah, I know we do a bunch of article scanning. I'm not 100% sure about books, but she can tell you that. She does? Okay.
She gave her coach for all.
Gotcha.
She's not cool. She has all of that. So, there's okay, in the email, the newsletter that I sent out, on the very first line are instructions about how to get on the listserv, so if you still have that, that's what it is. If you do not still have that, I will send out an email, maybe not today, but at least by tomorrow, that has those instructions and
on a listserv right now. Okay, for some people, okay. We'll keep you on there, it's fine. Listserv is really great because job announcements do over there. We're good. Job announcements go out, we talk about programs like Service LIS, all the applications for like Library of Congress, that's where they'll be. The listserv is the lifeline of communication for the school because not everybody's here. So that's where we have to make sure that everybody gets all the information. And we are so behind schedule at this point. So, anybody have any questions before I turn over to very, very patient ALA lady who would love to talk to you? Anything else? If you think of something today, tomorrow, 4 weeks from now, just send me an email or call me on the phone. I am here to answer any questions that you might have, come to your resources. I like to help students. I love my job. I love being in this program. Heather and I graduated not too long ago, so we've been in your shoes. Anything at all, just email us. Before I let them go, if any of you need to leave at this point,